Um, I don't see. Well, if you want to talk about Sarah, I don't really want to talk about Sarah. No, I don't believe that Jesus ever wrote anything. There's no evidence Jesus was even literate. In fact, there's no evidence of Jesus either. I don't know what kind of false beliefs you like to cling to, but I like to believe in hard facts. And when I had a personal experience with God, that was enough for me. Okay. So, I mean, I've had many experiences, but when I was a little baby, I had experiences. So, okay, 7 evidences of a narcissist delusional thinking, really.
But one of the things that tends to come along with this delusional thinking and their deluding of you is they actually have already deluded themselves about.
Believing in Jesus is a delusion unto itself. And Sarah said she saw God, and she said that she had a cold wind blowing on her. Well, that sounds a little delusional. It does. But I'm not here to pass judgment on Sarah. If she had a peak spiritual experience with God, I don't want to take that away from her. But then she denied that I believed in God, which no one has the right to do, especially since I do believe in God and I'm a soldier of God. I just don't tie my world and my love of God with Jesus, because Jesus is not a man of peace. Matthew 10:34 says he came for the sword, not peace. And I believe that we need somebody who brings peace to the world, not a sword. So I don't know. I jumped ship off the Holy Trinity the past 3 weeks. I was very on the edge with Catholicism, and now I'm just pushed it away. I still believe in God. I just don't rely on a false belief that Jesus is God. I just don't. But yet she told me I didn't believe in God. It's like, what right? I said, how dare you? So anyway, if you believe that somebody's got some severe malignant narcissism in their life and it's debilitating, they need to get the help. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So I'm not here to label anything Sarah's done as anything. I've never called Sarah a name, but if you want to get better, you have to get professional help sometimes. Herein lies the secret behind the scrim of holier than thou art Christians. This guy's one of them. He has to be superior to the people around him. How does that make you different than them if you don't forgive everyone? Well, yeah, bend over, grab your cheeks and spread them, or basically turn a cheek and get slapped. Sure, however makes you different. So what is this obsession with being better than others? That's what the Christians have. No different than the Muslims, really. They're saved and the others aren't. All these religions have that same common theme of their way is the highway and everywhere else is not. Now, granted, the Christians are forgiving, but they're not. They're very judgmental. I've never felt more judged than by Southern Baptists or Bible Baptists. I mean, when you think about it. But you don't think about anything? Good. That's the way to be. I think we're done with this Bible Baptist bullshit. He keeps propping up Christians versus Muslims when clearly Muslims and Christians both suck. Yeah. Let's face it, they're here to be superior to everybody.
Danger. That's where you'll find Diver Dan. The sights that he sees are surprising and stranger than ever you'll see on the land.
Diver Dan, Diver Dan. So somebody sent me this link earlier, and this is the kind of shit that I have to deal with every night. Seriously. I mean, I get 15 links every 5 minutes, and I have to bring them into the show and integrate them, and they send me this shit.
Baron has the magic shellophone at last. Diver Dan and his friends must recover it fast. They promised the mermaid they'd bring it back. But the Baron lures an octopus, our friends to attack.
See what I mean? How could I have a cohesive show about politics when I get shit like that sent to me?
Our religion can do a lot more damage than a six-pack of Lone Star.
So when this video played yesterday, it hit home for me because I've been shown nothing but hate by Sarah, and not, you know, when she said she's born again, I'm just like, and all she did was hate me. It's like, this is not Jesus. It's certainly not God. And then she said I didn't believe in God, and I believe in God from day one. I've always believed in God. So I'm going to be focusing most of my prayers on good and God. I don't believe in Jesus now. I've lost interest in this whole hoax, this idol worship that the Christian faith is engaged in. I've left the Catholic Church. I'm no longer interested in their dogma. But I'm a baptized Catholic, and I believe in God, and I'm just going to go with that. I don't need proof. I don't want to make this into a big deal, and I certainly don't want to worship some idol. But this idol worship that she put out, pure evil. Pure evil. And I really don't understand why she let herself fall into this trap. I believe the election could be between Jesus, Satan, yeah, at this point. I'm going against Zionism because Zionism is the root behind this cultic Christian religion. Zionism is really, they're fomenting nothing but evil everywhere they turn. If they can convert Christians to idol worshipers, then they can kill you in their mind. It's a justification. And I'm more sensitive to to Jews now. I've always, been aware that Jews don't like idol worship, but I'm more sensitive to their concerns. I don't think that Jews have the right to kill people who worship idols, though. I think that's the purview of God. God will judge us for our idol worship, not me and not Jews. But I understand where they're coming from. I do. I reached out to a Jewish friend of mine from college, and I left a message just out of curiosity what he's doing with, I think, maybe his wife. I don't know, but I haven't talked to this guy for 45 years. And I thought, I'm just going to see what he's doing. And if he's interested in talking, I gave her my number, Yeah, I'm just curious. I think he's done pretty well. Obviously, people who are Jewish tend to have a lot of money, and he must be doing well, So I'm happy for him. I'm not, like I said, I'm not into money, but I am interested in knowing how people are doing. And I didn't want to go through life without contacting him at least a second time later in life. I may do that with a few of the people I've known in my high school and college years. Yeah, well, the thing is, Sarah is not exactly a person who relates to me, and we definitely the relationship ended years ago when she was dishonest with me. I mean, I can't believe that she was dishonest all those years, but it probably ended 20 years ago, our relationship. But she stayed in it, and she saved a lot of money on rent, and I'm happy that she has funds and she can live in the RV that we bought. And being I still love the old Sarah, I'm happy for the old Sarah, but not this person that's evolved into some sort of an evil demon. I mean, she's out of her. I mean, nobody treats a person this way when they're never told a bad word. I mean, I've never said a bad word to her once. And I'm not calling her an evil demon, but she's sure acting like an evil demon right now. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like she's been demonized by the woman she lives with. I don't know if I'll run in 2028. I'm still debating on whether I can get a donation for America's Third Party. So in the next year, I'm going to try to put some stuff up for sale for people to buy to generate income for America's Third Party. Because if I don't get on the ballot, if I don't get filed with the FEC by the end of this year, and I only got 6 months to do this, if I don't get 7,000 in donations, I'm not going to run for office in 2028, because that's the determiner. We have to start a third party. And since you guys don't understand that, I'm good with just where you're at. Just watch the whole world fall apart and talk about it every night. I don't think running for office is going to be effective if you couldn't even get me on the ballot in 5 previous elections. I don't think that's realistic. But I am interested in knowing if you really want a third party, because it doesn't seem like you want that either. So I asked for donations twice and I didn't get any, so I'm not going to push it. All I'm assuming is that most of you just like to watch, kind of like that movie Being There with Peter Sellers. I like to watch, Eve. And Eve like, why are you watching TV? I like to watch, Eve. So she starts masturbating, thinking he likes to watch her masturbate. And he's still watching TV. It's very funny. If you haven't seen Being There, it's a very funny movie. Peter died. He died of a heart attack right after he made that movie. He had a pretty weak heart. Weak ticker, Peter Sellers, but very funny movie, but different. I mean, it was very strange. Hey, that YouTube video didn't come in. Let me see if I can get it again. But you see, I love the format of the show, and it's easy for me to do. So I'm not really worried about, if you don't want to create a third party, I'm okay with that too. But I am going to start selling stuff online, and I've got, the goal of by 2028, I'll have sold quite a few things, hopefully. I'm shooting for that goal. So keeping it realistic. No one should call S. Connie ever. I've told him never to solicit people online, and don't ever contact the guy. No, I have a lot of things that I could package as little fun gift items, and many of you might like them. I haven't quite put it all together yet, and then I'll start with the book, and then the DVD box set, and then the collector's edition, and then hopefully we'll wrap this up. No, Sarah, I gave Sarah the stuff that she bought for her prepper stuff, but I'm still very prepped for the future. Oh no, I kept all the canned clams, and she doesn't like any of that stuff. Sarah didn't really like much of that stuff that I've stored. She laughed at it. She joked about my food collection. Yeah, she thought it was a joke, but that's okay. I still have it. And I still have Y2K food that's perfectly functional. Yeah, you can survive on stuff. I'm going to really get more into that as time goes on, because I'm not really into using fresh food. I rotate older food out. Like right now, I'm cooking some older food. I got a deal on chorizo sausages, 6 for $1.60. And even though it's pork, I thought, I'm going to go ahead and make a spaghetti sauce out of this. And then Beef O'Clock suggested I put sauerkraut and peppers in it, and I made a sauce out of that. So it should be pretty good. I mean, I'm putting it on farfalle, which is a bow tie pasta. Yeah. If you buy shitty ass spam, it's probably better than nothing if you have no food at all. But don't eat that food right now. Eat it when you're hungry. I do. I've canned goods from 1957. My oldest food collection is 1957. Actually, it stores for 20 years. Spam does. No problem. You'll maybe even get more out of it than that. I've had Vienna sausages that are 15 years old that are still good. Taste like they were brand new. Oh wow, 14 minutes past the start of the show. Okay, let's get started. I'm having too much fun talking. So that's why I do the show. It's free for me to do, and I don't mind the fact that this hasn't been successful. It will be successful when I have things for sale. I know you guys are going to want to buy stuff. I've had people tell me they want to read my book, so yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. It's not my intention to make money. Like I said, you can't take it with you, and you never know when the end of time comes. So why acquire a lot? So I'm going to be trying to sell a lot of stuff between now and 2028. I have to. If I want to get down to just a little bag of my favorite items and maybe a box of collector items, and maybe some mementos for my great grandparents. That's all I really need. And I can't take it with me, so I'll have to find a time capsule to put it all in. The book may very well have a pretty powerful title. I'm thinking of something that's pretty provocative, actually. I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be different, I'll tell you. You'll never ever imagine how different. I have very rare books, by the way. I have books that nobody else in the world has. I have more actually real magazines than the Library of Congress. They got rid of all their magazines. It's all on microfilm. So I have the authentic magazines dating back 100 years, whereas they don't. So I have this massive collection I have to figure out what to do with, and I've got a couple good ideas.
I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. The opener won't play because I'm being attacked. I'm David Sponheim, and today's Tech Thursday. Yeah, Technology Thursday. We're going to talk about the dangers of nanotechnology being pushed into our air and in our food and our water, and also how it interacts with 5G and 6G. It's very, very nefarious what they're doing. They're trying to control us in the future, and they think this is a big, huge improvement. The intro is about 15 years old, and for the first 3 years, we had just the different intro. I can't play it again. It won't play because the DDoS attacks are going on right now. No, there won't be a new intro. I'm going to probably end up shutting the show down at 2028, so there's no need for a new intro. None of you seem to want to donate to a third party, so you don't pay, you don't get anything new. Yeah, without any support, I'm not going to be able to do much of anything for you. So, yeah, Sarah's part of the book, and I still have a book, Hybrid Capitalism, that's available for $14 online. Well, the thing is, the funding is of no value at this point because you guys don't want a third party. And you won't even call in a phone number I put out the whole night. Nobody called. It's like, I'm not going to waste my time on people that don't really want to waste their money. So, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much of anything for you because you don't want to put out yourself. So bear in mind, the free show is something that I do every night.
Me and started back.
It's not something I'm ashamed of. I think that's great. The fact that you have a free show every night is fantastic. hordes of people illegal aliens are coming into Morocco, breaching across the border in Ceuta, Spain. So you have to understand, you're more likely to believe that Jesus Christ is coming than a third party's coming, because Jesus Christ is something that's never going to happen. You're never going to see a return of Jesus. Yet a third party is something that's attainable. You don't believe in anything that's attainable. You believe in things that are unattainable, like Jesus Christ coming. So being it's impossible to imagine some idol like Jesus reappearing in front of us magically, like he was born again, that kind of an audience doesn't really, you're like brain dead. You're not going to be able to come around to a new political party. I didn't know people are making fun of me on YouTube. That's a good sign. Oh, that's Spawnbird. He's a paid troll. That guy is Rodney. Rodney gets money to do that. But at least I'm getting coverage, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Remember, I'm the most censored person in the world. They've locked my subscriber count at YouTube for the past 16 years. Same with Twitter and same with Facebook. So I'm really being pushed aside. And you guys are the only ones that really are watching me, besides the hundreds of millions that watch me on UHF and VHF. And I want to say hello to all the people in New Delhi, in Bangkok, in Beijing. Hello, good evening. I know that you're watching me because the UHF and VHF signals go strong and they make a lot of money on that stuff. I don't make a penny. I'm like, I'm less greedy than Jesus. Let's just put it that way. It's easy to donate. Just PayPal. Very simple. I don't have a WhatsApp, and all you have to do is go to PayPal and donate America's Third Party at Gmail, and that's still very active, and I can still receive money there. So that's not hard to do. But since you don't want to do it, and I won't meet the $7,000 threshold for 2026, it means that we'll have 2027 to start a third party. That still will happen. But so far, I've only got $30 from my mod, who's taking a break from the internet. So it's not like a big amount of money there. Well, what I need is for you to stop telling me what to do. Let's start with that. The phone call failed. This guy named Gerald Ford set up a conference call, and I gave the number on the screen for 4.5 hours, and no one called. So you guys basically get the show, which is, in real time, alternative views, and you get to watch alternative ideas.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And find out about how Tim Robbins met his late mother, who's deceased, in a ayahuasca experience. So what you're more likely to watch is people like loser libtards like Tim Robbins, who's only a year older than me. He's looking like Mr. Blue Hair. He looks worse than Steve Martin. He's talking about taking drugs with Joe Rogan. Now, this is the kind of stuff YouTube puts out there, but my show, Building a Third Party, I'm censored. That's nice. So the fight's on, Tim. He's fighting for his libtard values of sticking deadly needles at people indiscriminately and taking DMT with Joe Rogan. He was butt raped in Shawshank Redemption. What can I say? Is that true?
This is Julia James Davis, and welcome to The War on
Julia James Davis. I like her. She'd be great on the show, wouldn't she?
Beauty.
Oh, well. Yeah. So what I gleaned from this is that they bought a lot of young Zoomers like she, very pale. Yeah. Oh, shut up, Chet. If you do this, I'm going to ban you again. I don't play videos for 6 hours, asshole. I talk for 6 hours. And frankly, I don't have a lot of videos right now to play, so I'm just going to talk. But she seems very nice. Yeah, she seems like she'd be a fantastic talk show person. I just can't find her online. I subscribe to her YouTube channel.
This is Julia James Davis.
Okay, let me give it one more shot here. You go, girl. Well, I don't know if there is such a thing as pure goodness with the born again Christians. You see, Jesus is not about peace; he's about the sword, and he's about breaking up your family. That's what Matthew 10:34 to 36 talks about. So to think that Jesus is about goodness is a false impression. And to think that beauty is about goodness is, I don't know, how many beautiful women have you met that you can really trust to be with you? Yeah, well, we know beauty when we see it, but can you, if you see a beautiful woman, you know she's going to know she's beautiful, right? That's one of the common things, and they usually are not inclined to be in love with one person. That's the problem. I mean, I met a beautiful woman in college, model, model quality beauty, and she told me she had 4 boyfriends. I'd be her 5th, and I thought, is that a joke? And she said, no. I mean, I could make you my 5th boyfriend. I said, okay, whatever that means. I don't really know what that means, but to me it sounded like, oh, I'm just going to screw 4 or 5 guys and not worry about, how they feel about each other. So it's this idea that, yeah, they can do whatever and with that whoever, and they can screw people over. It's like, I don't really trust a woman who's really, really beautiful. It automatically is a kind of like a red flag.
I think
That's
that
the truth. Anybody can look beautiful with makeup. Look at J.D. Vance. He wears mascara, and look at how beautiful he is. All the gay men in Washington,
Hey,
D.C.
everybody,
like
how's
him.
it going? Hope you're having a lovely day.
He's very popular among the gay men like him. Ocasio-Cortez doesn't even know what a garbage disposal is. Really?
Hey, so I just wanted to announce that tomorrow we have a stop on the...
No, I don't play all the videos. I just critique them. This is a dead end. She's just trying to capitalize from the newest alien agenda that the government's pushing, where they act like they reverse engineered all kinds of alien spacecraft. Yeah, this is an attempt to form a global new world order, and it's called the Alien Agenda. William Cooper exposed all this many years ago before he died. He's the reigning conspiracy expert. He worked in the government, and he said that the alien agenda is very real. They want to pretend like they're aliens attacking so that we'll all unite under one banner, the global new world order. Our government is a facade. They're working for the globalist elites, Zionists like the Rothschilds. What we have is a joke. We don't even have an election process. It's completely wiped out. Trump making fun of the Democrats rigging elections when he rigged the election in 2024 himself, and I can prove that. But nobody gives a shit what I say. I'm just a guy they censor on the internet. So none of this is going to amount to anything other than, gosh, we get to look at the alien story. No one can believe anything anymore with AI faking everything. I mean, I've got pictures of Lindsey Graham becoming a zombie and getting out of the coffin and attacking everybody with a laser beam. Is this real? That's a very powerful anal wart wand he has, so you don't want that coming at you. It delivers anal warts to everybody who gets it. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to believe that's real, yeah, I mean, the aliens are coming. The aliens are coming. Oh, I believe it. Oh, yeah, sure. It really did happen. That really is a zombie that fell out of the casket, yeah. Lindsey got off easy. Nobody ever accused him of having anal warts on camera. which is great. He did frequently talk about his ladybugs. So, nope, nobody's getting banned. I'm telling you, Mark unbanned everybody except for Siberian Tiger, who doesn't like my politics because I think we're doing the right thing with Iran. So he said, I'm never coming back here. Good, I banned him. So he's the only one on the ban list now. No, I don't think you're ever going to donate, Andy. You're just playing games with me. And talking about taking a shit in the phone call with me is an example of how evil you are. You're a troll, Andy. You can't call in. You're just trolling me. This video was deleted from Facebook and Instagram. I don't really know if he is a bot. Does it matter? I live in a world where you could be a bot. It wouldn't matter to me. You actually think I'm real? You really think a guy like me has done a show every single day without fail, without skipping a beat? You really think I'm human? You believe that? No, I'm not going to play videos for you. I only do that when I have to step out of the room. Please don't talk about Sarah in a negative way. It's bad enough she's treating me like shit, but you know, you're only making it worse. Her girlfriend is a witch, in my opinion. Yeah, and I don't know if she's lesbian or not, but she sort of seems that way to me. I told Sarah that. So the only friend that Sarah could possibly acquire is a woman who's trying to manipulate her into being her companion. That's the sad truth. Sarah's so desperate for friendship that she wants to be born again so she'll have friends at the church, I guess. I'm actually quite liberal, Chet. You know that. I started as a Democrat, so I was always a centrist candidate. But then people like Mad Dog came in here, and he's just, you know, very conservative. So I tried to modify, but I'm not pro-life. I'm pro-choice. So there's no way I'm going to be. Wow, my sister's going to do some stand-up work, and she's working on stand-up jokes. They're pretty good. Yeah, she does impromptu stuff. Threesome? No, I don't think so. The thing is, the woman that she's dating, that she's living with, hasn't dated in 30 years after her divorce from her pedophile husband. So, yeah, I'm not naming names, so I'm not divulging anything illegal. So, stop any negativity about the show, Chet. I'll ban you from the show. You won't even be here to chat. Keep that up, and I'll ban you. You're being negative about the show, and I won't tolerate it. Dude, I wouldn't be the longest broadcaster in human history by allowing people like you to come in my show and shit all over me, the way Sarah's shitting on me.
Welcome to Cuba. Cuba is in the middle of its greatest crisis.
Now, if you're getting if you're getting products that are not organically grown, non-GMO, you don't know what you're eating. So you can't really say if there's nanotech in it or not, because they did inject the mRNA into some of the food items like chicken. So many people who are trying to discover what to eat, you may be better off eating some old can of tuna fish from 1997 than some food item today off the shelf. Just a couple of years ago, about a year ago, Foster Farms sold all their chickens to the USDA for $25 a piece. Why? Because they like money. And the USDA was willing to use borrowed money to get rid of all the chickens that were in Foster Farms collection and throw them in a dumpster. They didn't even use them. They literally threw them in a dumpster and they went into a landfill. All the chickens. Now all the chickens have been injected with mRNA and you don't know what you're getting. So here we have a situation where a company took the money, got rid of the chickens, and then used the mRNA vaccine without even questioning it. And we're wondering if our food is safe? I don't think any of our food is safe. Let's be real here. I mean, it's a joke. Maybe some of our food is safe, but you can't really tell now. No, we're dealing with a cognitive decline as a result of a variety of factors: food, diet, sugar smacks, whatever they're eating in the morning, radiation before they go to bed on their cell phone. It's like I said, if you're using a cell phone before you go to bed, your kid's holding it near his ear, he say he's talking to grandma. Yeah, he's going to actually get a serious lack of REM sleep and can't learn the next day. So all these learning disorders are not necessarily a result of retardation. It's a lot of factors. And the educators can't even delineate what these factors are. They don't even understand it. After listening to Sarah try to teach these kids for years and be there for her to tell her, you know, yeah, you can get through this, giving her constant support only to be shit on by her in every way. She won't even text me or call me. I'm beginning to wonder why I was propping up her teaching career when she, as a teacher, was facing nothing but frustration. And it's definitely a cognitive decline, but all the teachers blame themselves, and they shouldn't. They should blame the environment. I told her that, but she didn't care. She was more interested in the lesbian witch that she's living with. Okay, let's get you a little background on that song. John Lennon lived with this woman, May Pang, for 18 months, estranged from Yoko. Who nonetheless oversaw many aspects of the relationship. So May Pang was obviously a pretty Asian woman, and he lived with her. That song was about what he did to Yoko. He was a jealous guy, so he actually had another woman, and he beat Cynthia, you know. So he never beat Yoko, but he laid his hand on Cynthia, his first wife. Yeah. So now you know the whole story. Yeah, you only get angry at the bad Muslims who murder and torture people. Exactly. Right. You know, I wasn't a Beatles fan. I was a Beatles brainwash victim. I love the Beatles. I think they're great songs. I still love them. But anyway, he went back with Yoko, and we all know the story from there on in. Not exactly a love story. It's more like a story of handlers handling John. I think Yoko was his handler. I think the Tavistock Institute controlled John Lennon through Yoko. She would deny it to this day. You know that Yoko said that she wrote the Imagine song, the greatest song of the 20th century? That she wrote it? Yeah, so John treated Julian really bad. And Julian has John's voice, you know. Sean didn't inherit John's voice. He inherited his talent with music, I guess, but not really. But Julian was the one who deserved his love, Cynthia's son. And he had a couple hits, and then he sued Yoko for $50 million. And he got it. So, but he had a couple hits himself, Julian did. You can hear John's voice in Julian. Okay, welcome to Cool Rock, everybody. If you want to watch my show, you can. It's at Cool Rock, playing 6 p.m. to 12 midnight every day. You can watch it there. Thanks to Robin Lynn. Robin Lynn has been giving me a free place to put the music, and I appreciate that, Robin. Thank you so much. Okay, it's a free channel too, and I'm boycotting the internet with Cool Rock, as you know, and everyone gets the benefit of the free services and links that I provide. But Yeah, I was going to look at Radio Garden and see if I can find Salisbury radio station, which you listened to when you were in the hospital. Let's take a look, see if we can find it in the UK. Yeah, I'm glad you got through that and they extracted that feces from your anus. I'm so sorry that you've been going through all this terrible, terrible trauma. If only they could give you enemas and keep it clear in there, you know? Because your stoma bag only goes so far and then the rest accumulates below. It's like you got to have an enema on a regular basis, it seems. I would think. Maybe colonics, maybe coffee colonics in that area. That's something to think about. Okay, let's go to Salisbury, England. Lincoln. I think it's down here, isn't it?
We were crazy, we were young. The sun was always shining. We just lived for fun. Sometimes it seems like
I'm not finding it. Sounds like a real like a hip hop black song radio channel. Were there a lot of blacks that were trying to hit on you? Okay, well that happens. You're a white woman, you know, but that's kind of where you were down there at the hospital. Wow, thank you. Well, let's be queer. Hey, there's a long list of Muslim terrorists, yet somehow it's the white Christians who are the problem. Or using a tectonic weapon against the Iranian mountain range, which I don't know why NORAD hasn't worked out the logistics for that. I mean, I give Trump all these great ideas and he doesn't follow up on half of them. Using a tectonic weapon could wipe out their missile system completely. No question about it. Best scene ever. Woody Harrelson was canceled, really. I wish that X didn't exist because it's all these links go to X and they censor so much now. Take your food and rape your daughter. And this is what the Spanish government has had ample time to prepare for. They could have easily had machine guns at the border to waste them, take them all down and blow them off, killing every one of them. But they did nothing. They could have easily put Gatling guns or machine guns at those points and just mowed them down and their bodies would have floated in the ocean and eventually biodegraded. The Spanish government's just not thinking right. They need to act decisively against the immigrants and stop them by killing them all. How else are they going to stop them? I mean, any ideas here? Is there anybody out there? Yeah, they're all male too. I mean, what a perfect way to get rid of the male population that could be dangerous soldiers that could attack the Spanish government. I mean, is anybody thinking in the Spanish government or are they all brain dead? Maybe you can go to Cuba and find out what it's like to stay at a luxury hotel with no electricity, like this guy. No, somebody said, are you going to end up being a lonely guy feeding the pigeons at the park? No, I actually have my own aviary in my backyard. And I also have my own pond with fish and frogs. It's pretty cool. I live in an enchanted forest. Yes, it's kind of amazing. I dreamed about this as a kid and it manifested in my life and here I am in heaven. I used to live in a suburban area in LA and I thought, God, I'd love to move to Washington and be in the trees and lo and behold, that's where I live. Fantastic. And I have other properties that are equally as nice. So I'm not really in need of anything, especially a woman to give everything to. So Sarah has till the end of September to decide whether she wants to come and live in this house again. And if she doesn't want to ever see me again, I will pull her off my will in September. But she has till the end of September before she makes a decision. If she wants to stay in the house in the back room, I'll keep her on the will. But I made the fateful decision of putting her as my sole beneficiary. And I'm going to change that at the end of September if she really is going through with this. I can't believe she would turn down a guy who never said a bad word to her and who gave her back rubs every night, only to find this evil bitch that she's living with who's stealing her from me because she's so lonely and evil. That, I mean, I can't believe Sarah is this easily led. That's what bothers me. So I've lost a lot of trust. And at this point, the way she's treating me, shutting me off completely, yeah, it's as good as over, which is fine with me. But she has to decide if she wants a back bedroom with kitchen privileges and a bathroom. Well, at the end of September, it gets cold, and she's going to be in the motorhome or in an apartment or something and paying $3,000 a month, and then it's no longer an issue. But either way, I'm going to give her till the end of September to make that decision. She's paid for the cable here till the end of September. So at the end of September, they're going to drop the cable system in my home here, and I'm going to end up having to put a new one in. So there may be some down days. That's possible. Right around the beginning of October. Well, if she really is willing to drop a life of devotion, 27 years of devotion, where she could just retain me as a friend and still be in my will, I mean, she's foolish. I'm worth a lot of money. I mean, I can't believe anybody would even consider treating me this way. I mean, the amount of money that she could inherit from me is I don't even want to get into it. But I have a lot of equity and I have a massive collection, and she doesn't even understand my collection. I have very rare art. So I don't know what the hell she's thinking. It doesn't make it. So I'm going to give her till the end of September to get some treatment or some mental help and figure out what the hell she's going to do, because she could save $2,000 to $3,000 a month living here. And we're not sexually involved, guys. I mean, we had a platonic relationship. So what difference does it make if she's not in the one room, she could be in another room? Then I could have a great relationship with any woman I want in the master bedroom. And she could have a great relationship with anyone she wants in the RV. I don't care. Have a guy over, have a woman over. I don't give a shit. It's not about sex, guys. It's about being used for 27 years and con, basically. That's what this is about. I feel like I've been a victim of a con. It's terrible. It's a shitty feeling. It's not about jealousy. It's not about, gee, I wonder what she's doing. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I care that she's treating me like shit after all the devotion I gave her. Yeah, I'm sure I will, but I'm not really concerned about it. I got to open up a couple links here. Trust is gone. She ruined trust. The one thing a relationship needs is trust. And she blew that when she treated me this way. I said you could do this the easy way or the hard way. She's doing it the hard way. I even said you could talk to me and just be cordial. That's all I'm asking. She won't even talk to me. She wants me done. She wants me to be one of those people she used to know. After 27 years of devotion and kindness and love, I can't believe anybody like this even exists. I'm just floored. I've never seen such a non-empathetic, remorseless person in my life than Sarah right now, the person she became. It's weird. No remorse, no empathy, nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt he sent flowers to himself as a result of sitting there and pleading the fifth the entire time. Yeah, Fauci's a real head case. That X-File is not coming in. He's all smiles as he's surprised by flowers. I know the reality is she's probably going to just never see me again or talk to me again. That's fine. If that's her pathway in life, I mean, karma's a bitch. You can't do that in life. Karma comes back to haunt you. It just doesn't work that way. Nobody should treat anybody like this. Well, I believe in Jesus so far as it's a pathway to God. I never ever disputed the possibility that Jesus could be real. I just don't think he is real now. I think he's been a concoction of the Jews to initiate idol worship among white people, Goyim. And I'm not one of those Goyim that believes in Jesus anymore. I never really did. But if you want to, I'm not holding you back. Believe me, I'm not anti-Christ. I believe that you can put your belief and your will and your prayers into one being, and it manifests into something powerful for you. That's why many people believe Satan is Jesus. Jesus is Satan. The Vatican believes that Lucifer is Jesus. No, Sarah's pro-vax and pro-Jesus. I don't know what else to say. So limelight-loving Dr. Fauci smiles as he's surprised by the flowers, by an adoring fan. Oh yeah, right, sure. Beaming with delight. And that's not even the real Fauci. That's an imposter. I think they're turning the whole thing into like a TV exploitation ad. He's assessing how beautiful they are. Kind of like all the people he killed with his deadly vaccines. See, my face was pretty messed up. And this lasted for 6 months afterward. I had this burn all over my face. In fact, the next day after this happened, I literally put on a hat and sunglasses and went out to a party that Sarah was invited to. She had these teacher parties she brought me to. And I actually went to the party with a face like that and sunglasses on. Seriously. But yeah, I put some salve on there and it took 6 months for it to go away. But she had she thought it was shingles and she had no compassion for me at all. The unique thing about what I've experienced, having now known that the authentic Sarah is not a sweet, nice person who's kind of submissive, but the authentic Sarah is a different type of person. And she discovered her authentic self on this trip to this Christian born-again movement where she found Jesus. So now she's, I really think deep down she was all along kind of sociopathic in nature, because her disease makes it so she doesn't have empathy for people. And the vax may have destroyed empathy too, centrists. Good point. But Sarah's a different person now, and I don't ever expect to get back together with her. I'm beyond the idea of ever being in her life again. But I did make it available for her to stay in the back room if she wants, and I'm very friendly with her. I've never been a mean person. I've always been nice to her. So it's very hard for me to understand her demeanor toward me, where she's ghosted me for 4 weeks now. All going on 4 weeks now, she's ghosted me and text, and I didn't call her. I don't want to breach her privacy, but she hasn't called me either. So she wants the whole relationship to just go away, like close the door on that chapter of her life. And it'd be okay if it was equitous or equitable, if there was an even exchange of planned separation of assets, etc. And all we could do is transfer the RV title and the trailer and truck. But the truck is problematic. I've got some issues. I've been working on the truck for a couple of weeks now. And the truck has got some issues that can only be resolved by a dealer. So I have to take the truck to a dealer. So I've got a kind of a can of worms to deal with. But she has a great RV. But once I get the truck dialed in, I think I'll be okay. But she's got a great RV, and I'm glad for her. I love the Sarah that I used to know. I still love the Sarah that I used to know. But she doesn't have much empathy. That's one thing she doesn't have a lot of. So not even responding to the burn on my face is like, she didn't even care. Now I'm realizing that I've been ignoring the troubled signs of her condition. And for 3 years, she was untreated. And I didn't really urge her to get treatment like I should have. I told her 3 or 4 times during those 3 years that she should see a doctor. And she finally got a blood test, and according to her recent tweet or her text that she did send me, which is the last text she sent me, was thyroid levels are okay, but she had a vitamin D deficiency. And a vitamin D deficiency can lead to depression. So that could be a reason why she was so depressed, blaming me for the depression. That's a possibility. But either way, she's made her decision, and I don't want to be around a person that is so erratic that they would just uproot a 27-year relationship and bolt and never talk back or never call or anything. I wouldn't want to be with a person. It's kind of creepy to imagine somebody laying their head on your heart and listening to your heartbeat. And that's what she was doing the day that she left me. She promised me money too, the day she left me. And she had already packed her car for 3 weeks, and she just got in the car and said, I'm done. This is over. Out of the blue. Like it was choreographed and planned. It was a military operation. So I'm a victim of abuse here. So pretty severe abuse by a person who calls themselves a bitch and a bad person. That's her new title for herself. That she said she's a bitch and a bad person. It's like I never called her a name in my entire life. It's like, whoa, okay, so you must not like yourself. I get it. Okay, well, here I am. So I moved everything she had, except for a lot of junk, into the RV, and she's been hopefully enjoying it. So I'm happy she has an RV and she's, some independence. Like I said, I still love her, but I don't know who this person is that she became. I never met this person before. So she'd never let that person out. It's almost like a multi-personality. She's nearby. She is 70 miles away. So when she gets back to work, she will have the choice of having to get an apartment in the area or live in her RV, which is pretty difficult in the winter, or have a room in my house if she really wants to go back and say, hey, Dave, can we kind of talk? I'm a really easy person to get along with. I've always been super easy to get along with. That's why I think God put me in this place to deal with this. I don't know any guy who could handle this as well as I handled it. I'm treating this as a mental episode that she may be having. Like it could be menopause too. But I'm not expecting our relationship to ever even get back to where it was, platonic. So, and if she doesn't want to be equally yoked with me, that's fine, but you will know them by their love. And frankly, I'm not seeing the love at all. I'm seeing pure hate coming out of, I think she's been demonized by the woman she's living with. The woman's living in a world where her grandkids get dropped off across the street and she's not allowed to ever talk to them because she has alienated her own son and his family. And they were Christians too. So this whole thing is like Christians against Christians. That's part of this drama. The story of that woman is so weird. It's bizarre. So I'm not revealing names, so I'm not in any way talking bad about any specific person. I've been very careful to never reveal their identity, much like I preserve all of Sarah's secrets. I've been very attentive to that. I want to make sure I'm not bad-mouthing about Sarah either. I think she's got some sort of an untreated disease, and I cut her a lot of slack. I mean, if she were to come back to me and say, hey, I realize I've been a little erratic lately, I'm more than willing to talk and sorry. I'd accept her apology. I would, even if I think I'm being used, because I care about her that much. That's why I think God put me here, for this reason. And I foresee her in my future. I don't know why, but it could be a psychic feeling. So I'm not holding out that she'll never come back, but I'm prepared if she's never going to come back. And my attorney will be prepared too, because I have to pull her off the will. And I'm going to do that probably in October. The homewrecker is the woman who convinced Sarah for 10 years now that I'm a bad person and that she needs to dump me. So the dialogue that's been going on for 10 years while I thought Sarah had a friend, because Sarah's desperate for friendship. That's one of her vulnerabilities. Desperately seeking friendship because she doesn't reveal a lot of herself. She's completely hidden and closed. So she has a hard time meeting friends. But this new person that she thinks she is extroverted. So she thinks she's a new person, and she enjoys being that new person. So she doesn't want to get medication. It's kind of like bipolar. They don't want to be medicated because they enjoy being bipolar. So however this plays out is not really my concern. I just hope she's safe and has an independent life. And the RV is a good RV, and I'm glad she got it. But I'm struggling with, car or truck repair now. Well, the truck isn't firing on all 8 cylinders. So it's only firing on 6. So in order to get the truck diagnosed, I have to take it to a dealer. And that's problematic. I've got other things to deal with too. But it's a good truck, but it's not firing on all 8 valves are not moving. 8 pistons. There's a timing issue. Okay, we're coming up with the card toss in 4 minutes. Let's dive into this woman talking some more, and then we'll get to the card toss. Yeah, I could talk to this woman till 3 in the morning. She's really engaging. I miss that. I miss having long conversations with a beautiful woman, Yeah, it's like she was never there. Sarah was never there to talk about anything with me. What bothers me is that she waited this long to do it. She could have ditched this relationship 20 years ago. It would have been fine with me at that point. It'd be a lot easier for me. So it's very selfish what she did to stay in a relationship where she was fake and phony with me for 20 years. This could have ended at the 6-year mark or 7-year mark. I really feel like I've been used. Well, that's okay. Nobody's beautiful at this point to me, Anita. Yeah, a woman would have to knock me off my socks to make me think twice. It's not you. No, I mean, you've got to understand, I have a pretty high standard for beauty. So, Sarah didn't even meet that standard. So I was unfortunately not able to breach past the platonic feeling that I had for her. But this woman right here was a heartthrob for me. Her name was Catherine Ross, and I missed an opportunity to get to know her. This is her now, and she's got a wonderful marriage, and she's happy with her husband, Sam Elliott, a famous actor. But this woman was staring at me at Westwood Bookstore. Now, I consider her like the epitome of beauty at the time. That was my standard. So, I mean, the next woman is gonna have to get close to this. So I have pretty high standards. That's my point. Yeah, and I like slim women. It's true. I had some women looking at me at Walmart today. One of them was attractive, but she had lots of tattoos and she was a little too thin. She looked like she had a little methamphetamine addiction or something. I don't really want a meth head for a future girlfriend. Looking for meth head as future girlfriend. So my thing is, I'm not going to worry about love. It's going to come my way eventually. I'm not concerned. I know that I'll meet somebody else. I know that in my future too. Isn't that weird to have your knowledge of your future and how everything, so far in my life, everything's played out exactly like I saw it when I was just a baby. You see, I'm one of those few people that gets to see your future in advance. I had that gift, I guess. So I saw my future laid out when I was born. You know, they say everyone sees their past when they get close to death. It flashes before them. Well, I had my future flash before me before I was born. So I already know that I'm going to meet another woman that's going to be absolute beauty. I mean, like knockout beauty. Yeah, I've met a lot of women that are that beautiful before. So I just didn't jump all over. I mean, I literally, my knees were shaking when she was looking at me. And I nearly fell down the one step that I had to walk down in this bookstore. And I was like, holy shit, she's staring at me. The woman of my dreams. I mean, she probably remembers it. I bet if I ever meet Catherine Ross, Sam Elliott would get jealous. Yeah, he would. Yeah. Tall men are popular. Yeah, I know. I'm not looking for a woman right now. I'm really kind of reeling from this experience of being used for 27 years. I'm having a hard time understanding it. That's why I think God made me this person to be able to absorb it and understand that something's not right with her mind that has led her to this ridiculous place where she hates me when I've never done a bad thing to her at all. That's the strange part about it. Okay, coming up, hang on. And she even acknowledged that in an email. She said, yeah, you never said a bad word to me. I know. That's what is so shocking. I've never said a bad word to this person, yet she wants to dump me and never talk to me again. I mean, what kind of friendship did I really have over 27 years? What was that all about? Because it seems like I was dealing with a disingenuous person who was obviously using me. And I'm like a victim of a long con or something. I feel cheated. I mean, that's how I feel. It's not like I'm wondering, gee, is she going to have another guy friend? Or I don't care who she has sex with, because I didn't have sex. Why should I worry about somebody else having sex with someone? No, we had a platonic relationship. I always said, you know, if you want sex, I could provide sex. But then again, I don't want to feel like a prostitute. I don't have any problem with erectile dysfunction. A lot of guys my age do, but she'll find that out when she starts dating. Yeah. No, I don't think she's really into guys. I think she one time, she told me something in candid moment. I'm not going to tell you what she told me, but it didn't seem like she was that into guys. But then again, she did tell me that she didn't want to ever have a lesbian relationship because it was an abomination. This is right around the time she had seen God. This is when she stopped her Alaska cruise and was planning on leaving me. She told me she didn't want to ever lay with a woman. So that's a good sign. So hopefully, if this latent les weirdo that she's living with hits on her, it'll freak her out. I'm hoping that happens because I really want Sarah to come stay in the back room and be, you know, my friend again. I mean, it's that simple. It's not like I feel like I'm a victim of a long con per se, but when it's as super nice as Sarah, you can't not love her. I mean, you guys saw her on the trivia show. She's just a very nice, affable person. That's the person I'm still in love with. Truly. Sorry, Catherine Ross, but yeah, I never got to meet you. I probably should have. It was one of those moments in life where I should have talked to Catherine Ross. She was just looking at me with those wonderful eyes of hers, her doe-like eyes. Okay, getting back to the questions here. David, would you date a transgender? No. Christians are nuts, period. I agree. So we have a winner. No, we don't have a winner. No one got the King of Spades. I get cross echo. You don't know the reason why I do, but I do. I just, yeah, I get cross echo, so I mute myself during that sound. It's okay. I didn't have anything to say anyway. Well, I was speaking out of turn about Sarah, so I don't really need to do that. No, I want to respect Sarah's independence and her privacy. Even though I think there's something wrong with her mind, I still believe that everyone deserves to have their own independent life, but no one deserves to be treated or abused like I've been abused by her. So nobody deserves that. So this is outright abuse to be cut off when I've never said a bad word to her in my entire life. That's just weird. It's strange. You know, usually you hear about this case where somebody's been abused or something. You know, it's like, yeah, you don't want to be around an abusive guy, but I'm the last person that would ever abuse someone. So her concern about safety is paranoia. She's exhibiting some level of paranoia, and like I said, no empathy toward my injury, and no empathy or more remorse about dumping me like nothing, like it's nothing. 27 years and it's nothing. So as far as resources are concerned, I live on next to nothing. So I don't really worry about her little bitty utility check that she gave me. She saved $300,000 living with me over these years, and had she left me 20 years ago, she'd be $300,000 poorer. So yeah, it would cost $2 to $3 grand a month to live in a decent one-bedroom apartment in my area now. So I'm looking at this as like, wow, she just took advantage, it seems. So I'm not in any way going to text her. She's ignoring my texts. I just had about 3 or 4 texts, that's it, and she ignored them. I'll text her one more time mid-September. I've already prepared the text. And if she doesn't want to follow up with a response, either letter form or, snail, I'll take snail mail. If she wants to end it all, like I said, I'll be talking to my attorney at the same time, so I have to pull her off my will. So I'll talk about the options I'll be facing. Your ex-girlfriend could not listen to certain rock music because she thought they were with Satan. Religious people are simply the closed-minded collective. Yeah, I know, totally. Well, you know, I heard of a woman who used to smoke pot, and she was a wife of a guy I knew back in the 70s. And she stopped smoking pot because she turned to Jesus. Well, within a year, she got brain cancer and died. So turning to Jesus led to her death because she stopped smoking pot. Yeah, I'm going to do a follow-up email in September. I don't want to bother her right now. I want to give her as much space as she wants. And I never harassed her through text messages. I just sent 4 text messages, which I added to my book already. And my book, I have to pull off of my tablet or adjust the settings on my tablet because it's the most frustrating thing ever. Every time I hit the backspace button, which I use on my tablet to get rid of something I wrote, it immediately it hits the 0. So instead of backspace, I'm getting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So then I have to hold the cursor on that area, highlight it, and cut it. That's the only way I can write. If I make an error, I have to highlight it and cut it. So I'm going to try to redo the settings so they're not as sensitive because the 0 is getting hit even though I'm pointing it at the backspace button. And this is like one of the first tablets made. So I may have to move to AI to start doing my writing. I think I'd prefer to write on AI. I could be a lot more prolific. It's very, very tedious to write and transcribe this stuff, but it's helping me because it's like diverting my attention from the reality of being ditched after 27 years of devoted love and caring. I mean, I would ask her every night, do you want a back rub? I mean, I don't know anybody who's as nice as that. I mean, serious. I don't know anybody who's that nice. I wish she had reciprocated. Maybe 1 out of 40 back rubs, she would give me a back rub, but it was kind of like a short 1-minute back rub. But I got in touch with my cousin. She contacted my cousin ahead of, she breached my privacy by contacting my cousin. But she wanted to brag that she was born again to him, which is violation of Mark 6:1. No. Sarah's father hated me because I was anti-vax. And he literally hated anyone who's anti-vax. So she worked with her dad quite a bit, talking about me behind my back. I knew that for a fact. I overheard her parents while they were living with me, rent-free, by the way, talk about me behind my back. They'd frequently joke about me and make fun of me. I mean, I don't know what kind of abuse that is, but that's psychological abuse. So I endured that for 2 years while doing the show here. My cousin is so born again, he won't even reveal what she said to him. Other than he contacted her because she was so concerned about how I would take this. That's the reason. When in fact, this is a violation of my privacy. And I don't know what else she said to my cousin. And he won't tell me. So there's a dishonesty factor going on here. I'm not getting any openness from my cousin. But I did tell him in a text message that it's on him because he's the only one who could possibly reach her and say, get mental help. Just tell her to get mental help, seriously. Because born again is supposed to be love. Mark 6:1, I'm sorry, did I say Mark 6:1? I meant Matthew 6:1. Sorry, I'm quoting Bible here. Matthew 6:1. Do not wear your faith as conceit on your sleeve. No, I didn't want to go to the funeral of her sister. I wanted Sarah to do this personally for herself. It was really important that she had her time away, and I didn't want to be around her loss and her family's loss. Yeah, parents always want their daughter to grift and pillage any man with her. Good point. It is. It's just I have the American Standard Version. What was the violation? And what was the verse? I'll transcribe it for you. I can do that faster than you can Google it, apparently. Yeah, if you're one of those people that's stuck on Bible verses. The internet's big. That's why I try to tell people to stop worshiping things written by Jews. I mean, the New Testament and the Old Testament were written by Jews. Up to a certain point, we could believe what they say, and at a certain point, you have to abandon belief in that. It says clearly, be careful to not practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So for every person that brags about their born-again faith, they are running the risk of being sent to hell. Now, is it you can't look these up yourself, or there's something wrong with your brain? You just told me that wasn't, it's exactly what it was. The American Standard Version is, do not wear your conceit on your sleeve. Do not wear your faith as conceit on your sleeve. It doesn't matter how it's written or how it's interpreted, it's still the same point. So those of you who are bragging to people about your religion, I told her, I said, I even quoted Matthew 6:1 to her in a text message. I said, you breached my privacy. You went and contacted my cousin. I haven't contacted any of her family members. So just to brag that and now my cousin's saying that, oh no, she just was concerned about you. She doesn't give a shit about me. She hasn't even written me a text message or called me. She just flat out dumped me after 27 years. Well, stop being so critical. You uproot the show. Your shit that you put out. Truly. Empathy. Yeah, she's lacking in empathy too. So, yeah, these are just characteristics.
You.
I don't want to watch this guy. These are just characteristics this guy that were evident, her symptoms, and that's due to her disease not being treated. So what can I say? I'm the victim of a woman with hyperthyroidism. Oh well, I can take my lumps and talk to my attorney. They're getting rid of the forest and water for 6G rollout. I know. Well, you guys have had the opportunity to build a third party for the past 17 years, and you just sit there like lumps of coal. So what can I say? It's fun to go talk about the news and share this, though. I mean, we have a common interest, that's for sure. Now, what did he take you for your vacation? What did he do for your Christmas? What did he do for birthday? Relatives and friends ruin every effing relationship for men. Well, her father pretty much hated me on many levels, but one of them was that I was anti-vax. So for some reason, people who turn to Jesus run into real bad luck. Yeah, like this guy, Perez Hilton, knifing himself. Somebody wanted me to believe that the guy it was an AI had taken over his account. No. According to TMZ, he's been taken in and they're treating him in a hospital for all these cuts on his body. You see, when he turned to Jesus, Perez Hilton became suicidal. I've been saying this all along, Jesus was suicidal. And I know a lot of you people think this is profane heresy that I talk about in my show. Some of you are shocked that I even talk about how I've disbanded from believing in the Holy Trinity. But I have. I believe that much of the Jesus story is a manipulation by Jews. So Jesus is, the next concept you have to consider. Why would Jesus go on the cross if he knew he was going to? Why would he take down the scribes, money changers, if he knew it would lead to crucifixion, which was the law of the land? Why would he do that? So now all the Christians are being groomed to be people who are persecuted and want to die like Jesus did. It's a death cult. The Christian faith is a death cult. I'm just calling it out for what it is. And I'm not anti-Christian. I say everyone has free will, but you've got to realize you are in a death cult. It's a cult of idolatry. And in that way, I agree with the Jews. I do. I don't think the Jews have the right to take you down, though, or put you in a guillotine because you're idolatrous toward Jesus. If you want to believe in Jesus as your God, you have every right. Much like people who believe that Allah is their God and Muhammad is their prophet have every right. They don't have the right to have a church, though, in America. It's not protected by free speech. When you want to kill people, that's not protected by free speech. And, you know, Christians never ever expressed interest in killing people. That's the one good thing about Christians. But they do have an interest in suiciding, like Jesus. That's a very dark side of the Christian, much like it is for the Muslims who want to martyr themselves for Allah. So if you're one of those people that wants to believe in anything, you can be an atheist too. It doesn't matter to me. I'm good with free will. I believe God gave us all free will. You see, I believe in very core, simple beliefs about God. Not confusing at all. It's very simple. That God is love. I don't believe in Jesus because I believe in peace on earth. I probably would align more with John Lennon in that respect, even though he was a wife beater. I like Jews. I'm not bothered by Jews. Like I said, I think like Jews. Yeah, and if you listen to what I'm saying, you'd understand that. But apparently you can't. There's no critical thinking ability there, Beekman. You don't even understand a freaking thing I say in the show. It's kind of funny. So you could have fun at Cool Rock and just play around. And if you want to record what you want to see, what you play on your board, you can actually hit a record button up here. Record a song right here. This takes you to Vocaroo, which will give you the recording ability to record right off of your computer. It's pretty awesome. You hit the record button and it'll make a recording for you, save it to a file. It's super easy. Have fun. Yeah, you can become your own musician by yourself. Cool Rock is a standalone self-sufficiency platform for the future of the internet. It's the beginning of something much bigger. I've got all kinds of great links I received from everybody like Beekman. Beekman is one that turned us on to TV Garden and Radio Garden. TV Garden goes by a different name now, but both of these buttons are incredible. You can travel all around the world and listen to music on Radio Garden. We've done it before. Amazing stuff. If you're an audiophile, it's just incredible. And TV Garden gives you a full spectrum view of the news and lifestyles of people all around the world from multiple channels. It's like amazing. And then if you go down here, you want to take a deep dive into this board. Mr. Doob has the coolest, he has a Quake game playing, if you want to play Quake. And if you want to click on the diamond, or the triangle rather, this one right here, this circle is I drew this picture of Sarah the day that she left me. That was just a live drawing of Sarah the day she left me. Anyway, the triangle is a gateway to all kinds of web framework and work that web designers around the world have put together, and each of these croutons takes you to a different place. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. If you have a video card, a decent video card, and a standard computer, it just plays an amazing experience. Windwalker 3JS. Let's go for low quality. Explore the ocean. I did this the other day. It was pretty awesome. So you could enter another dimension on any one of these croutons. I mean, look at all the choices. This is like unbelievable. And it's all free. It's all fun. And you can search up here, WebOasis. WebOasis was an incredible coded web search engine, which searches 16 different search engines simultaneously. So you no longer face the barriers you face with Google now, where it truncates your search to just 2,000 entries. You can open up millions of entries here. These are all the different search engines it does simultaneously. Isn't that cool? And if you go to the background, every one of these croutons opens up a different type of a venue. Like if you go to the book, the one that looks like a book, you go to all these sites that teach the internet, learning, information, news, and at the bottom you can get coding, free courses in coding. Code Academy, Code Learn, Code Camp, ConLearn. You can learn coding here. So yeah, this is a really deep dive, and it doesn't require password protection. So it's not like the internet they want to create. It's the internet I want to create. See, Coolrock is boycotting the internet. It's on a site that says not secure on it. I'm not doing any e-commerce, so don't have to worry about your site being secure or not. But if it says not secure at the top, don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt your computer, I assure you. Yeah, so it's really designed to stop all the control that's going on, to try to limit our access to the internet. It's designed to open up your access to the internet. And there's a lot of other buttons to explore at Coolrock. So have fun with that. So anyway, this has been a grueling experience for me. And this is like a therapy session when I can sit back and talk about it after the card toss. So thank you. Okay, that's a keeper. Yeah, I mean, this is intense stuff. Ariana does look like she's in dire need of help. She's suffering from Kuru disease. I'm here. I think Roseanne is a Zionist pig. I can't believe you're not aware of that. You see, Beekman, you don't understand the threat Zionism has on our country. You don't even get it. It's just so how could you even have been in the show all these years and not understand that Zionism is a threat? My plan for the DVD box set is to keep editing nonstop. Focus on that. Yeah, I've got a ton of editing to do, and I'm writing a book too for 2028. I know, you're feeling a lot better, aren't you? That's good, Anita. Yeah, it's good you managed to get that cleared. My goodness. Yeah, so the goal is to get everything edited down, and it's a grueling process. Nope, not right now. I'm not, and nothing's for sale right now. But yeah, you'll be able to buy a signed copy. Eventually, it'll be a collector's item copy will be pricey. The standard copy for just the video will be affordable. The signed collector's edition, including the book and the lobby card, will be the expensive one. It'll be coming in a frame, where you can open the frame and grab the DVD or the box or the book, and have the lobby card behind it. That's what I'm envisioning. I'll have 200 limited editions, collector's items, framed ones, and then it'll be a cool item. But the book will be, on sale for a affordable price, and I'll sell the DVD box sets separately. I haven't really monetized anything in 17 years, so this is all new to me. It'll be a slow process, but luckily I've got a couple more years to finish out my 20-year broadcast history. 20 minutes until the moon crash. Yeah, I guess we could hang out till the moon crash. Send the clip. Oh, the physical copy of Hybrid Capitalism is available at Amazon. Oh yeah, I'll be able to make a lot of scratch on merchandise. I'm not really worried about it. You see, I'm not materialistic. I'm not even. Jesus was materialistic, as you know. I'm not. He actually took the 2 pennies off that old woman in the parable. I mean, who would take 2 pennies off an old woman? Some of you are having a crisis of credibility here, knowing full well that these pictures are animated, CGI, done by AI. They aren't actually real pictures. That's usually we're experiencing a breakdown in communication. Yeah, there's any number of AI faking opportunities out there right now. We've been dumbed down so far that we can't even look through a telescope and know what we're seeing. Retardation has taken over the human race. We are now a retard nation. Anything you think is real is fake now. Now that AI has taken over, there will be no alien invasion. It'll be fake. We'll know it's fake. Everything's fake. We can't take anything seriously anymore. Sorry. Watch the beauty of this amazing moon crash in real time. Here it comes from this angle, and 2 minutes and counting. NASA, we have lock. The fake moon has been presented by AI, and we're looking at it right now, validating this as a fake event. We have 100% proof this is fake now. Guaranteed. Fly me to the moon and let me dance among the stars. Would you like to take a trip to Uranus? Anyone up for grabs? We are boarding the next shuttle to the Uranus. If you're on board, Step on in. Be careful, it's a little bit slippery. Fly me to Uranus and let me dance. Do you think Sinatra was in on the space exploration scam? Yes. He was in the know. Sinatra knew everything. He was a complete and utter mobster. Yeah. Mobsters have been running the country for a long, long time, ever since they killed JFK. The Mossad did. And they work with the mob directly to maintain the illusion that you're living in a free and democratic country. What is this, like repeat action here? It's looking for where it's going to land. It's like combing the surface. We don't know exactly where it's going to land. Well, we should, don't you think? Well, this could break open the entire moon. It could crack. I'm prepared for this. I'm one of the few people who believes that we're about to see a cataclysmic event in real time. Here it is. Fly me to Uranus and let me dance among the dingleberries. They said your poop was rock hard. Yeah, it must have been amazing. I'm so glad that you got it removed and they fisted you. It's good you were fisted. The room at the Waldorf Astoria where Sinatra regularly sang was called the Starlight Room. So true. My mother actually was chased around at an airport stairway by Frank Sinatra. She grabbed his hat and ran away with it and teased him a little bit. Yeah, so she had a chase around this escalator. Sinatra was running after her. She was a cutie. The vision of the buck moon and your poop, rock hard antlers. Oh yeah, did you wake up for that moment? Did you videotape your antler-like poop being pulled out? We're now at 17 minutes and counting. We're at live, 10 minutes, 6 minutes and counting. How come this is closer? This other one is 2 minutes and counting. Now this is 29 minutes and counting. What's going on? I mean, are they trying to get everything lined up so they can fake it? Okay, this is as close to live as we'll get, 6 minutes and counting. What you're about to see is the moon crack into 1,000 pieces and little mice pull out, serving cheese. I disagree. He is deeply troubled, as are many born-again Christians. You see, I believe that God put me in this place right now to talk about Sarah's born-again Christian experience and Perez Hilton's born-again experience as well. You didn't have a picture taken of your antler-like poop? You know we can hear you, right? Yeah, of course. You think I'm trying to monitor myself and limit? No, this is an open forum, man. So, yeah, a lot of the Christians born-again Christians have lost it. It's happened to me directly. I mean, I literally have been I'm going to say, excuse me, abused. Thank you. Well, it's a shame they didn't take a picture of your poop. That would have been a nice little memento of your day. Stanley Kubrick would question it. He faked the moon landing, so he would know. I have a lot of songs with moon themes. We've got till the top of the hour. 4:57, 5 minutes to the landing. One of my favorite was a song by Cat Stevens. Moon shadows, moon shadows. Okay, we're scanning the crash site potential here. We're not seeing the landing yet. We've got cameras combing the surface to verify the crash landing of this retro rocket that was originally launched in 2025. Now, because there is no standard for Elon to avoid space junk, and that Elon's basically getting away with criminal acts of polluting the atmosphere, we're all brainless idiots thinking that this is all live footage. Meanwhile, AI has completely faked everything. Yeah, I was a victim of, I was cheated, basically. Sarah used me for 27 years. Moonshatting, moonshat. Small compared to other things hitting the moon. Well, if the moon really is hollow, this could fracture the entire moon, and it could split in half. And small little mice will pop out serving cheese, Swiss cheese to be exact. We're going live to the collision point, 1 minute and 38 seconds, folks. This could be absolutely fake if you let it. It's so fake, it's real.
Exactly 1 minute.
1 minute and counting, folks. This is it. The moon could split in half at this moment, and you will be watching history. Meanwhile, the cataclysm on Earth will follow. Tsunamis, earthquakes, strange tidal zones, all of this could follow. Once the moon fractures into 1,000 pieces, it is likely to completely split. Based on the trajectory and the weight of the object, it could very well hit the weakest point in the moon's structure, being the moon is hollow and filled with small Martians. Expect those Martians to take their space vehicles and head straight to Earth for safe haven. This will be the greatest alien invasion of all
Okay,
time.
we're within 10 seconds of impact right around here.
This will be the biggest alien invasion in history. You'll see the secret military projects that are inside the moon. Elon's coined that expression. When he had the last SpaceX where he put a car in space, he said it was so fake it's real. God, I wish you'd look this stuff up. It would be so great. If only you did a little research on the internet. What a concept. Jesus. I'm at the tip of the pinnacle of knowledge. You're languishing in some sort of a garbage can somewhere. "25 seconds to land."
There is this dot here. I don't know if this is it. The whitish dot that I don't recall seeing earlier.
Yeah, it is the whitest doctor. It is the white. It's the thing that looks like cocaine on the screen. The sploons
this
of
one.
cocaine. It could very well.
I don't know if this was the impact or not. But this is where it was supposed to be, and that little dot, I don't recall seeing it earlier.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Here we go. Here we go. It's live, folks. We're reaching the 1 minute and oh, it's already hit. It didn't really make a difference. It looks like a small cum stain on the wall. You remember what that looks like? Remember when you didn't have erectile dysfunction? Those were the days, my friends, when you had a hard-on. Remember that, Beekman? A long time ago, huh? Those were the hard-on days. Yeah.
It's easy to tell.
I beg your pardon. I never promised you a hard-on. Hey, man, have you ever considered how you're being used for your penis? Ask your doctor if it's appropriate for your wife to ever touch your penis. It's already passed gas and nothing's happened. Would you like to take a trip now on our flock cameras outside of Uranus? We're poised to give you full blow-by-blow descriptions of what's happening on Uranus instead of the moon.
Okay, we need to debayer it.
We're not going to exactly ignore the most important moon song of all, with Andy Williams. So you got to understand, you're being lied to on a daily basis. So of course this moon crash is not going to amount to anything. Yeah, I mean it came, it went, they died. Moon River, lost and all alone, my huckleberry home today. The People's Voice, Britney Spears reveals demonic Erica Kirk trafficked Disney child stars to Jeffrey Epstein. They'll have pictures of the explosion tomorrow on the news. Yeah, luckily we averted a major disaster. Thank you everyone for watching it. Your contribution,
Space just dropped the
your contribution is greatly appreciated. Remember, all of your prayers were answered. There was no catastrophe. All of you praying to Jesus, you saved the day. Thank you. Without your help, we never would have been surviving. It's Jesus the Lord, God himself. Idol Worship number 101. Hi, welcome to Idol Worship number 101, where we worship Jesus as God and alienate everybody else in our family. And remember, you Christians, they will know you by your hate. And you don't have to hang out with anybody who's not equally yoked with you. You should alienate everyone and continue hating everyone, because that's what Jesus would have done. Jesus was a hater, not a lover. He didn't believe in peace, he believed in the sword. So if you're going to follow in Jesus, you're going to betray your family and hate your mother and father and put Jesus ahead of everyone. In fact, I'm going to change his name to Jesus, okay? Yep. I know it's hard for you to understand, but Jesus is a concoction by the Jews. Jesus, I call him. He was the king of Jews. They claimed he never ever existed. He's just a confabulation of monstrous proportions. They needed an idol, an ideal idol, and they have this old guy with a beard, professed so kind and loving, but being a lover of the sword. Well, that's because the Jews wrote the story. That's the clue right there. The Jews were all about the sword and human sacrifice. So this way they can turn all you goyim into idol worshippers and then kill you. That's their game plan.
Earlier, it has the wrong
of love
debayer.
is in your eyes tonight. The look of sick carnality.
Okay.
You're not going to believe this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining.
Okay, he's closing down the broadcast. I should do the same in 15 minutes. So actually, somebody says that Rick Scott said he wants accountability from Dr. Fauci. Wow, what a concept. Rand Paul couldn't do that.
Of course, Americans want accountability.
No, actually, they aren't related. No, Sarah, I'll tell you what happened. I enjoy talking about this. So Sarah essentially wanted a friend 10 years ago because she didn't have one. And she's desperate for a friend besides me, because apparently she never really was my friend. She pretended to be, though. I thought I had a friend in Sarah, but instead she chose to go to another woman. I remember the conversation we had at least 10 years ago. She said, David, I need this person as a friend because I need someone to complain about you. Because she said she had complaints about me. I said, well, what are your complaints? I want to hear it. I can't tell you. Or you won't tell me, I said. No, I can't tell you. So she had it's extreme passive aggressiveness. And she never really understood that her authentic self was this extrovert. So she found her authentic self who is aggressive. So this is the aggressive self. I don't think Sarah's a lesbian. I think if this woman makes a pass at her, Sarah's going to come knocking on my door. I really do. I think that. I think Sarah is going to come to her senses and realize she's being manipulated by a very twisted and evil woman who's hated by her own Christian family, of all things. It's the weirdest concoction of events. Hated by her own Christian family. I think that Lindsey Graham was murdered, yes. He got a little too big for his britches, and the Russians didn't like what he said, and then he came home and died. They can give you a polonium hit and you're dead the next day. If they slip it in your cracker, you don't know. A little bit of polonium and you're gone. You turn into a raving zombie. I mean, look what.
My granddad was a Baptist preacher. I've been.
Yeah, the people getting control of the open borders is HIAS.org and all these other agencies. You see, folks, the bulk of these immigrant problems are a result of Jewish NGOs supporting refugees, immigrants, and open borders. And because our country is so hook, line, and sinker in favor of Israel, we can't seem to even recognize this. I do on the show, but for the most part, they don't. The government refuses to acknowledge it. Okay, so what this Rand Paul gain of function research stuff is all about is it's basically a throwaway story. Focus on Dr. Fauci, who gave a mere $2 million to the Wuhan Virology Clinic, and ignore the $64 million that Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein, his friend, gave. Ignore the cloning opportunities that are going on right now with Bill Gates's technology and Jeffrey Epstein's input. This is basically a bait and switch. You're led to believe that they're really doing some deep work on this subject. Ladybug is the nickname they use for Lindsey Graham. He had anal warts, severe. Yeah, he couldn't help his anal wart problem, and I'm not here to make fun of the dead, you know. He liked to get effed in the ass by big men with dicks. Lindsey had a thing about that, and he developed a lot of anal warts. And, you know, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, though. We are currently under attack. Defending. We have taken an advanced antiviral posture here at the show. No, I really want to extend the show because of the attacks that have been happening. Tonight has been the least amount of attacks, so I'm giving you a 15-minute extension as opposed to a 30-minute extension. Thank you. Thanks for lightening up on the attacks. It's nice that you're finally adapting to my model. So tomorrow we've got a little bit of...
Unfortunately, he put a team of experts together.
Tomorrow we've got William Greer, UFO panel. I'm sorry, Stephen Greer.
Who are themselves foxes in the henhouse. This whole White House advisory group.
He's taking my position, which is the alien agenda is in play, because he was laughed off the map. Greer claimed that a little teeny thing from Ripley's Believe It or Not was an alien, and nobody believes him now. So he has to reinvent himself. No, Lindsey was never caught in any type of a compromising position, or he paid everybody off. The rumors that Lindsey was a gay man were just based on the fact that he hadn't married, and he talked like a homosexual, which is a sure sign that he was homosexual. Jesus. But that alone cannot make a person gay, just because he talked like a gay. Jim Brewer performed this, mocking the COVID insanity, and it was over. He got people to see just how... Jim Brewer is a joke. He's a joke. I won't even play him. He's just a suck up, and frankly, he looks like shit. He needs to have dermal abrasion done and needs to go to a couple of health spas and get his blood cleaned. The guy looks like the end user of a massive amount of controlled substances. And he's like 12 years younger than me. You're not going to believe this, but there's a guy impersonating me online named David Sponheim. He sounds exactly like me. I want you to know that that's just a complete, absolute impersonator. And everything's going great in Austin. I'm living in my RV, and the show's going great. Paying back Newtown, small installments of $5 million a year. You know, I wonder if Alex Jones is going to pay back Newtown. He owes him $1.4 billion. He's only paid him $100 million. I have the receipts. Actually, we have an eyewitness CIA operative who spoke about how much money he got. Wow. He gave, basically, Alex Jones paid Newtown only $100 million. If you can believe that. This man was interviewed by the, I guess it was Veritas that interviewed him. Well, let's be clear. See what I mean? They're just users looking to use every guy out there. It's amazing. Yeah, we did the Brittany thing earlier in the show. Yeah, that's it for tonight. You know, I had a plumbing problem before Sarah left me. And I had two sinks that were just gone. The plumbing had been 30 years old. So I called a professional. I realized it was way above my abilities. You don't have those tools to fuse pipes, plastic, and all that. And it was costly. It was like $850, which I covered the bill. Sarah didn't offer to help. No, she just liked the free rent, or the cheap rent, I should say. Yeah. So this idea of using your man is bullshit. Women should carry their weight just like men. Shouldn't be this dependency thing. Ridiculous. You're raising the bar even higher, ladies. You're lucky you have a man in your life. If she doesn't nag him to death, she has a chance at keeping that. Yeah. Well, she sounds like she's a handful, that woman. But yeah, it's a challenge dealing with the reality that 27 years of my life were subtracted by a person who wanted cheap rent. That she would have done me a great service by leaving me 20 years ago. Why did she wait 27 years? It's just such bullshit. As you can see, I'm only a small portion processed. 4 weeks now it's been, but I'm slowly processing it. My sleep pattern is maybe gotten up to 4.5 to 5 hours. I haven't gotten any more than 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep for 4 weeks straight. Just dealing with this bullshit that she did to me. She canceled my vacation, led me on thinking I was going on a vacation, planning to leave the whole time and take the RV. That's diabolical. I mean, I've never seen such manipulative, highly controlling behavior, and she seems to love this whole thing, the aggressive aspect of the passive aggressive. She likes it. It's weird. She gets off on it. She likes being, she said to me that the submissive person is in total control, and she laughed gleefully talking about it. Like the submissive person is in total control. Hey, these people were walking beside Trump, and they said, why did the bodyguard snatch the phone of the recording? Let's find out. We're not done yet. So the big news has been Perez Hilton has been hospitalized in Florida. He was kicked off TikTok today. After becoming born again Christian, he then started cutting himself. And that's my concern, is that born again Christians are cultists and they're losing their brain. I'm very concerned about Sarah too. But he literally started cutting himself with a knife all over his body. That's the big news today.
Well, thank you very much.
This guy's copying my show. He's literally copying my show. Jew Peters is copying my show. He literally is copying everything about me now. When he works for the rap industry, he signed a lifetime contract with the rap industry. Jew Peters is owned by the Jews. And that's why he's so pro-Jesus now. Because the Jews are pushing this Jews for Jesus thing and this whole born-again Christian movement, all put on by Jews like Joel Osteen. Yeah, so they're trying to get as many of you Christians to become idol worshipers so they can kill you. The more people that support Jesus, the more likely they'll use the guillotine on you with the no-hide laws. Yeah, Oprah has gone into hiding because she can't walk. I'm telling you, she's got a hard time ambulating right now. Yes, Alex Jones not only stole the show from me, he stole my entire idea. 1997, InfoWars and Prison Planet were founded by Skunkworks Production, which is a subsidiary of Lockheed Martin. It's a military operation. The CIA got involved in taking over the character of Alex Jones. As you know, the guy who plays Alex Jones is not Alex Jones. I'm not Alex Jones. But I could be. I look just like him. And that's just a conspiracy theory I've been putting out. Flash black. So as you can see, I look a lot more like Alex Jones than this guy, Alex Jones. Who cares about Fuzzy Zoeller? Who cares? When I was in Austin, when I was a radio program director in Seattle, Washington, I didn't know about Alex Jones cover story. Okay, yeah. But no, the real Alex Jones is long gone. That's what he looked like. More like me. Aldous Huxley was the teacher of George Orwell, and many people believe that the two ideas merged. The Brave New World and 1984. Yes, it's called ecstasy. It's called ecstasy, where you can have love spontaneously by drug-induced. But as you can see, I look exactly like Big Brother in the movie 1984. And it occurred to me that I am Big Brother in the early stages. As I fight for democracy, I will always be seen as a rebel, except I'm not gay like James Dean was. Yeah, so I really believe that we're headed toward the very same dystopian age that they predicted, both George Orwell and his teacher, Aldous Huxley. Yeah. God love you will be abused. You know, I have a very simple belief in God. There's no strings attached. I have no prayer sessions needed. I don't put a series of ritual behaviors like whipping myself in the back like Muslims do. You can attain the God gene. It's inside of you. You just have to open up your inner self to the person that you were as a baby. You see, we're all born with the God gene. We don't need the entrapments of Jesus and this idol worship. All that's unnecessary. And remember, Jesus was not about peace. He was about the sword. I believe in peace. I'm not Jesus. Thank God. Just this whole love affair with Jesus that happened so recently with Sarah. It's just so sad, you know. She decided to love Jesus and condemn everyone else around her, which it doesn't make sense. No, we agree exactly. I mean, we agree 100%. What are you talking about? That's why I don't hate Jews. I agree with you 100%. I'm a big God person, much like the Jews are. I believe in God, but they're very ritualistic. I'm not. I don't have the entrapments of all that rigor. I would believe in a simpler path, which is easier to understand for people. But people are entrapped in this belief that Jesus is their God. That's idol worship, and I agree with the Jews about that. I just don't think that you have the right to kill anyone who is an idol worshiper. Well, it was right before July 4th, that's for sure. So it's been a month now. We spent July 4th alone, so it was like July 3rd, I think. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. That's the thing. I don't have a problem with the belief that pure Christianity, what they call national Christianity now, is in any way a good thing. Most mainstream ministers are saying no to national Christianity. I call it cultic Christianity. But this Jesus was not a man of peace. He was a man of the sword. Matthew 10:34. And you'll go on to read Matthew 10:35 and 10:36, and you'll see, yeah, he wants you to hold him and revere him above your father or mother. He wants to drive a father from his son, a mother from his daughter. You read it. It's like Jesus is a con man. And I'm just not buying it. I was hardwired to believe in God at birth. Like I said, I believe we all have the God gene in us. Even the most horrible people, they just have suppressed it to the point where it's burned to a crisp, as their spirit will be burned to a crisp in hell. Boom, country star Ella Langley is making history and staying true to her roots. Well, isn't that special? Yeah, I think if you just tune into the simplest things, you'll find a happiness. The more complicated your religion is, and your rituals are, the less happy you'll be. The key is to free yourself of all this self-hate. I don't hate Jesus. I actually see Jesus as a fictitious character. Now, if you are Jesus, thank you, Anita, for coming into the room, literally. It's great that Jesus could show his face here. No, but read Matthew 10:34. Jesus was not about peace. He was about the sword. I'm more about peace. I'm David. I came before Jesus. So I'm not here to proselytize or push my views on you. I'm just saying, for me, believing in God is the simplest thing in the world. When I look outside and I see nature and I see little birds and how cute they are, I see God. I listen to my frog. It burps and looks for a mate, and it found a mate with its big, huge burp. And I see God. I don't think Jesus was bad. I don't think Jesus ever existed. My lineage goes back 10,000 years. I'm a direct descendant of King David and Abraham. I'm like of the Druids, that age. That's how old my lineage is. I'm a direct descendant of Abraham, much like Jesus was. Nope, Sarah doesn't want to ever talk to me again. She's found Jesus and she doesn't like me anymore. So I've accepted that. I just can't believe that I was duped by her con. It's like a long con that she's engaged in. I feel really weirded about it. I feel like with all my experience, I did. Yeah, it's the end of September. Uh, I've offered the house if she wants it. I'm not Jesus. I'm just David. The end of September, if she wants it, she can have a room in the back of the house. I don't think we had a relationship for a long time. It's been platonic, so maybe I'll give her the end of October of 2028. Really? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. It's an open-ended offer. I'm not cutting it off at the end of September, but she's cutting off the cable system at the end of September. I do know that. She offered to pay the cable all the way to the end of September, and then I have to buy a new cable system here. So that's going to happen, and I'll be down for a couple of days probably. Yeah, but then an arrest was made in connection to the Spokane complex fires. Well, are they going to arrest the guy who had the directed energy weapon? Because we saw a directed energy weapon. I don't believe there was an arsonist.
We begin with breaking news tonight. Police have arrested
Well, Jesus is used to being hated, so the whole Jewish concept is for you to be persecuted, you Christians. So by aligning with Jesus, you will accept the guillotine more likely. You'll go walk into it. It's much like martyrs to Allah. They've openly martyred themselves to Allah, much like you Christians will martyr yourself to Jesus. That's why the Jews created Jesus. It's a concoction. I didn't think at first, because I wanted to adapt to the Holy Trinity. I did up until about 3 weeks ago, and when I saw demonic, satanic Jesus love right in front of my eyes. And when Sarah said she found Jesus and she showed hate to me, and I just like, whoa. Like I'm getting the singe of burning demonic succubus. I don't want that in my life. I don't want a demonic succubus in my life. So I'm good with Sarah going on her merry way. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with what she did to me. It's like an incredible ripoff, a con game. She conned me. And I remember her speaking to her father behind my back. I heard her quite a bit. And they were always plotting and planning. And I almost think that she thinks her father is in her and that she's in touch with her father. She doesn't realize her father is lingering in purgatory. He's not in heaven. In her mind, he is in her heaven, but he's more of a plotter. And when he passed away, I think he really wanted to screw me over. He hated me. So I think Sarah's fulfilling her father's wishes by doing this to me, treating me like shit. Her dad would do that. Her dad would be that kind of a person. Her dad nearly hit me one day. I could tell he's just ready to hit me, flat out hit me. I could just tell he was just waiting to hit me. And I said to him, I said, I really don't give a shit what people think of me. And then I could feel that arm getting ready to hit me, man. Oh, he hated me with a passion. He really did. That's why I'm going to have to sell the truck and the trailer. I don't want Sarah's vibe around me. I got all kinds of shit I got to get rid of in the back room, or she can come take it over herself and get rid of it for me. I don't know why she dumped all this shit on me. I packed her RV, everything she needs, but she has all this stuff that I don't want. And I literally have to clean up her garbage now, and she won't even talk to me. So it's bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. I think it's coming from her father. Yeah, I think she really, she told me she saw her dad in Alaska. That's when she completely planned this whole thing to get rid of, leave me. Like, wow. I think he's speaking to her from the grave somehow. I think this is the idiots that are putting on these directed energy weapon fires getting ahead of the story by blaming an arsonist. There was no arsonist in the starting of the Woolsey fire, the Malibu fire. They didn't even look for arsonists during that time period. Lahaina, they never found the reason why Lahaina's electrical fire started. PG&E claimed it was their fault. And the high winds, of course, are always to blame. So even Trump said, something else caused it. when he talked about the Palisades fire, but he wouldn't say what. But I can't say what, he said. But you know something caused it. Trump knows. Trump knows that they're using directed energy weapons to start these fires. We just saw green lights flashing over the Spokane fire. We had that clip earlier. You saw it in the show. No, I've never really, I like campfires, controlled fires. But I'm not big on burning if I can avoid it. Oh, you insulate your windows yourself? Really? Well, that's good. That's smart. You put tinfoil on your window, it'll keep the sun out. I thought the lyrics said jacking off by myself, but drinking jack off by myself. I'm a jacking off myself. It's got to be a play on words. They like women saying that stuff. That's the secret to the success of that song. I just jacking off myself. That kind of thing. Don't you agree? You don't believe in anything? Yeah, I don't blame you. So I'm just a campfire person. I'm just I kind of like having a campfire now and then, but I don't really want to pollute either. I get a lot of branches in my my enchanted forest that have to be cleaned up, and this past year I've been doing probably 4 or 5 burns. So this guy's gonna get a little too close to the flame if he keeps that up. That's what the Mossad agent was trying to tell him, because there's a reason why 99% of the Epstein tapes are still not read. Because then the American people don't have a representative that would ask to read them. Thomas Massie is a weak excuse for a congressman. We don't have a political party that would actually get the Epstein files read. That's the one reason why we won't read them. We don't have a political representation. That's the thing. Well, I'm glad you're working on the fix of your house. That's good. You seem like you have more hope and energy. I'm just reading your chat, Anita. Seems like you're more positive about things. I'm just getting that impression. Maybe it really helped to have that stuff at the hospital done. Yeah, I think the guy got a little too close to the flame there. I mean, I'm amazed he'll live through the day. He kept probing where it's stored. Of course, P. Diddy stuff was completely seized, and they never investigated blackmail with P. Diddy. They covered that up. Maureen Comey covered that up. She just got fired, and they dropped the case of blackmail, which would have been 20, 30 years. But no, not going to do it. P. Diddy's going to get out next year, probably. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any action in Congress. Mike Johnson stopped any reading of the file, so none of this is good. It shows that our government's been bought off by Israel, and they don't want to let that stuff out because it's being used against our politicians right now as we speak. Okay, your day center activity. Wow, you're so active. That's nice. It's nice to be active for you. I've only been getting 4.5 hours sleep a night every day for 4 weeks now. I can't seem to get to sleep early like I'd planned. That whole vacation plan was to get me to sleep. For 2 or 3 days, I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was on a really great track. I was literally going to go to bed at 1 o'clock for 3 days, and then Sarah threw all this shit on my lap, all this crap that she piled on me, blaming me for her depression. So now I don't get to bed till 3 in the morning still, like my old schedule, and I still wake up earlier now. So now I used to get 6 hours sleep, now I get 4. Oh, she screwed my entire vacation up, my sleep patterns up, my everything, my life. She's literally screwed my whole life up. And I'm just I put together a text message that I'm going to text her in 2 months, or roughly 2 months, maybe a week or shy of that. And she can respond to the text message or not. And then I'll be going to the attorney and getting my papers in order. Oh, yeah, it's just unbelievable. She actually thinks she's going to get away with this? Treating me like shit? Well, this show has been my steadying force that's kept me going. No, I can't go anywhere, Johnny. I've got too many personal issues I have to deal with. It's best to shelter close to home when you're under attack. But what Sarah's done to me is treated me horribly when I've never said a bad word to her. I know. And the value she saved like $300,000 living with me. And now I feel like I'm a victim of a long con. She didn't want to do anything. She dropped out of this effort. I told her to start with, I said, you got to be in this for the long haul. You can't just do this quickly. And she said, oh no, it has to be done right. We have to run locally. I said, well, if we run locally, it exposes my address and my privacy. She thought nothing of that. She just went ahead and exposed my privacy to the world and then wants to walk from all that. She bears no responsibility for anything she's done. It's weird. And now she wants to just walk from everything. And I've devoted my love and time to her. It's just the weirdest feeling to sit there. You're like putting out, being super nice, and never said a bad word to her once. And I've been nice through this whole process too. And she still treats me like shit, ignores my text messages. So that's the part that I don't like. The fact that she thinks it's okay to just to cauterize the entire relationship like it never happened. That's coming from a real evil source, and I think her father had a bad influence on her. I'm not going to divulge anything about her dad other than he was not a nice person, and I knew that when I first met him. Yeah, we got swatted, and it was terrible, all because of her. We never would have been swatted if she hadn't divulged all our personal, private, public records. She ran, and then I ran after her. But I told her we didn't need to do that. I just said, I want to just start a political show, just to test the waters for a third party, which is exactly what I'm doing now. A political show to test the waters for a third party. That's all I'm doing. And so far, nobody wants a third party. But there's other ways of approaching this. I haven't exhausted all the different ways. But yeah, it's just super hard to imagine anybody being that cold, remorseless. No, she took all her underwear. I made sure all of her underwear was nicely packed in her suitcase. I did a great job on her RV, and I still love the old Sarah. I can't, I felt for the old Sarah, the one that lied to me, pretended to be nice. She had me completely convinced that was the person she was. That takes a level of passive aggressiveness that I've never seen before. And I used to dread the idea of being with a passive aggressive woman when I was a kid. It's exactly what I ran into. Yeah, I dreaded it, and it's exactly what I ran into. The worst I've ever seen. The family is so passive aggressive, it's unbelievable. Now, I grew up in a very vocal family where people yelled at each other and verbally aggressive. She had never had an argument in her family ever. And everybody held their feelings in. And she used to tell me the reason why she liked me because I let my feelings out. I talked, I shared my feelings. She was just bullshitting me because she never shared her feelings with me. She was just as closed as her brothers are in her life toward me. She's living with some woman who's very alone and isolated. The family won't even visit the old woman. The old woman's family won't even visit her. Yet Sarah's been looped into being the woman's companion. So I don't know. I really don't care. I told her I'd never want to hear about that woman ever. I'm done. So she apparently had somebody else help her with her getting her RV, but she jacked her RV out of here in 30 seconds. It's like she was trying to escape from me in every way she could. It's like never ever letting on that she felt this way. I've been really hit by like a extreme actress where she literally was on. She did this act for 27 years until the very end, when she told me she was a bitch and a bad person. So I've never seen anybody put on this show of being sweet and nice, and then all of a sudden at the very end admitting that they're a bitch and a bad person. She did. She totally used me. Now, I'm not sure if she realizes there are laws against that. It comes under the heading of fraud, and there's no statute of limitations on fraud. But I'm not going to think about that right now. I'm hoping she'll come to her senses and be nice again. Snap out of it, Sarah. Go back to being your old self. You'll be a lot happier. You won't have to be this person you think you are. See, Sarah is so desperate to have a friend that she's lobbed onto this horrible woman. That's really what's happening. And she fancies herself as an extrovert now, when she's always been an introvert, Sarah has. I don't think Sarah's a lesbian. She found Jesus, and Jesus abhors homosexuality, but she is going to a lesbian church, so maybe that has an effect on her. You know how lesbians will talk themselves into believing that Jesus supports carpet munching? Yeah, the carpet munching industry. Oh, Jesus loves that. There are people that believe that Jesus and Mary Magdalene got it on and had kids. That's a common conspiracy theory. I don't track that. That's not my thing. Canada's role in JFK's assassination. Let's find out what that's all about. Okay, yeah, I'm still looking at cheap houses here. Let's go to Delaware. Often wondered what Delaware looked like. Delaware. Yeah, so if you're into the Jesus movement, Jews for Jesus, you've come to the right place. We're here to dispense your cultic theories. I'm a deprogrammer, but I was unfortunately unable to deprogram Sarah in the recent born-again takeover of her brain. I deprogrammed her before when she was younger because she was more easily convinced that church was just a mind screw. But as she got older, she became totally in the Jesus loves you mode. And now she's she's actually a born-again Christian. Yeah. So she joined the Jesus movement because that was created by people like Joel Osteen, and a lot of Jews created the Jesus movement. They believe Jesus is God. They believe that. You might believe that. It's possible. You can believe whatever you want at Alice's restaurant. Well, this is interesting. Pricey. $149 for that. Looks like a modular. Nice. It's just, yeah, it's a mobile home park. So you can sort through these things with filters and just do houses. Lots of land. Well, those shouldn't even show up. Yeah, Delaware is, you want to be on the water, right? Of course, that's on the East Coast. You want to be away from the water. What about down here in Virginia, Virginia Beach? Nah. This is Maryland, I think. This is away from the tsunami. Nanticoke, Maryland. $215,000. Oh, yes. Well, we're just killing some time tonight. You may be Jesus. You never know. It's a common affliction among people in mental health situations. I know, and when I read Matthew 3:7, when I read Matthew 10:34, I was shocked. Yeah. I thought Jesus was God, was love and peace, and I'd never realized this. No, he's about the sword. Well, I got friends who told me about senior living. You can get nice places in Florida for as low as $350,000, but they have a monthly HOA fee. This is a bedroom, 0.75 acres, $215,000. Step back in time and experience the charm of small town waterfront living in this historic community of Nanticoke. The classic colonial style home is full of character and timeless appeal, offering a rare opportunity to own a piece of local history in one of Eastern Shore's most picturesque settings, nestled in a beautiful, peaceful neighborhood. Yeah, live with the sword, die by the sword. And Jesus was all about the sword. And I contend that he was suicidal. This property enjoys views of beautiful Nanticoke River, and it's just a short stroll from the local marina and waterfront. Spend your days boating, fishing, kayaking, or simply enjoying tranquil scenery that makes this area so special. Walk down to the wharf and purchase fresh seafood directly from local watermen, embracing the authentic Chesapeake-based lifestyle that continues to thrive there. Inside, you'll find the warmth and craftsmanship of a bygone era, with historic details that reflect the home's vintage character and enduring charm. Whether you're looking for a full-time residence, a weekend retreat, or a property with unique personality, this home offers an inviting blend of history, location, and lifestyle. Enjoy quiet evenings by the water, friendly neighbors, and the unmatched beauty of the Nanticoke River. Opportunities like this are rare. Don't miss your chance to own a charming historic home in one of the Eastern Shore's hidden gems. Man, I just want to see this house now, you know? Shall we? Take a look. Well, it's still a vibrant, well-protected bay. There it is. Nice little community, friendly neighbors, church, waterfront. Look at how neat and organized everything is. Oh, I feel like I'm in James Madison's house with Dolly upstairs going, "Honey, could you get those slaves out of the kitchen? They're stinking up the kitchen." Yes, honey. Yes, Dolly. I like the wood rafters and the hardwood. Everything looks good. It's homey and loved, and it has a feeling of everybody's grown up there, you know. Lots of cubbies, lots of pantry room, great ceilings. Yeah. Rooms look pretty well trimmed and taken care of for an older house. I know. I hate the fact that Jesus committed suicide on the cross, you know? When so many other people have suffered far worse than Jesus. And everyone says, oh, Jesus suffered so much. He died for your sins. What sins? I didn't know I had any sins. This house would cost way more than, you're kidding me? This house would cost you 300 grand to build. This is a stick frame, dude. The question is, does it have decent insulation, or is it lath and plaster still? I love those pedestal bathtubs. It's a little crowded, but still. Got a full shower. Banister looks classic. Everything looks really neat and trimmed. They took good care of it. It's a well-heeled house. It just has a lot of stuff in it. It's kind of hard to see it without that stuff. Got a nice little front area for sitting. We have a little gazebo, barbecue, garden. I don't see the view of the river, but you might see it from the... I don't hate Jesus. I love Jesus. Yeah, I'm a big Jesus lover, except I don't believe he existed. Yeah, I love the fantasy of wanting to love a mythical character. I just don't believe in idol worship. Yeah, I'm against idol worship because it is one of the commandments that, and I agree with the Jews on that one. I wish these cultic Christians and national Christians would just stop being idol worshipers, you know. I don't see the view of the river here. Maybe it's over there. I guess you got to go over here to get the river. No, there's no view of the river. Must be out the back end or something. Where is the river? We got waterways all over the place. You could walk to the dock here. That's a really nice walking area. Yeah. That's the cat. Yeah, that's the trick. Boy, look at all the houses people live in, you know, around the country. It's just so amazing how people survive. It's cold winters out there. Chesapeake Bay has some protections. It is on the eastern side, but it's inlet. It's not directly facing the eastern seaboard. Jesus is just all right with me. Yeah, I'm just not a big Jesus lover. Spooky is gone. We don't know what happened to Spooky. He died. The Doobie Brothers. Jesus is just all right. Oh yeah. I just recently fell from believing in Jesus as a real entity. I think it's a myth. There's no the Shroud of Turin carbon dates to 1240. So yeah. What the hell? $30,000 for this? Oh, I want to buy this. Holy schmoly. Yeah. I have Fantasy Buy Hour where I buy things in my fantasy world here on Zillow. Zillow used to be so much better, and they've reduced its features. I think they're making room for AI or something. I don't know. Computing power seems to be at an all-time low right now on some of these sites. I think AI is sucking the juice out of everything. The juice. Yeah, so being the apostles never wrote the Bible. That's the story of John is just fictitious tripe coming from Levites. They wanted you to feel all persecuted and fear the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and it's all kinds of self-fulfilling prophecy in the Bible. The Bible was written by the Knights Templar, basically. The worst people on earth, designed to contort your mind into thinking that Jesus is your idol and God. So they came up with a character who's clearly, the ideal idol, Jesus Christ. Wow, that's a fixer-upper. Jesus, look at that. I wonder if there's any interior pictures. Man, that's out in the boonies. Crisfield, Maryland. Jeez, look at that. No inside pictures. It's probably trashed. Man, yeah, it's just a burnout. Oh God, it must smell to high heaven. It's like a ghost house. 30 grand on a lot in Maryland. Okay, what the Hopi said about the Star People in 1958.
Silicon Valley was in the room. EFTA 017895003. Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn founder, emails Epstein and Mark Zuckerberg together. Quote, Jeffrey, Zuck, email connections from the Ed Boyden Dam.
We won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop.
So let's be clear.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim, America's Tea Party.
Sponheim for president. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions if you ain't up to speed. You need to speed it up, partner. Keanu Reeves.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim, America's Tea Party.
We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop.